Hello friends, welcome to Tutorials, and in this video you are going to learn the frameworks of Node.js. In case you don't know what is Node.js, then please check my previous video because unless you know about Node.js, you won't be able to understand this. So I have already recorded that video. So in case you haven't checked yet that video, then I strongly recommend you to check that video first. So if you go to my channel and then click on playlist, and here you can see Node.js tutorial. Okay, so this is the video happens when in case you haven't the data is sent from the strongly recommend you to watch this video first. Okay, then you will be able to understand it. Okay, so now let's get back to the framework of Node.js. Before we know uh, about different types of framework, so let's understand why do we need framework. Let's just take one example. You know JavaScript, right? You know JavaScript. So JavaScript is a which is also called vanilla JavaScript. That means pure JavaScript. But there is a library called jQuery. So why do we need jQuery when we already have JavaScript? Then why do we need jQuery? We need jQuery because some developer have created functions that we require. For example, Bootstrap. Bootstrap, what is Bootstrap? There is the library of CSS. You don't have to write the long code, just you need to call the classes. Same way in jQuery, you just need to call show, hide, fade in, fade out, etc. But that doesn't mean that it automatically works. Actually, someone has written that code already there. So what we need to just call those functions. So same way, if you want to work through Node.js directly, then it will take more time. If you want to develop an application purely with Node.js, then it will take more time. So to simplify the task, there are different framework, and the most popular framework by Google is Express.js. And in this video, we will discuss about, and also I will show you in detail about Express.js. There are different frameworks of Express.js. Express.js is a minimal and flexible Node.js web application framework that provides a robust set of features for web and mobile application. Okay. There is another one, Geddy. There is a simple structured web application framework for Node.js based on MVC architecture. Same way, Locomotive, Koa, Turtle.js, these are most popular. There are a lot of other frameworks also available in the market, but these are most important frameworks which is used while developing the applications. And number one choice for the developer is Express.js, and I will be discussing about this Express.js only. And you can see Happy, Derby, Sales, Meteor, Chocolate.js. So as you can see, there is a large list of frameworks available for Node.js. Now we will talk about Express.js. So what is Express.js? Express is a fast minimal web framework for Node.js. What is this? This is the framework, okay, of Node.js through which we can develop the application faster. Express.js developed by Google is a Google product, is one of the most popular and easy framework. The framework provides a lot of features through which you can develop your application faster. As I mentioned before, that through this Express.js we can develop any applications faster with less time. Express.js is based on Node.js middleware module called Connect, which in turn uses HTTP module. So what does it use? It uses middleware which middleware module which called Connect in turn uses HTTP module. If you have watched my previous video, then you might have seen that Node.js uses HTTP module to communicate with the server, client and server. So there is a module called middleware which already has this HTTP module. So any middleware which is based on Connect will also work with Express.js. So how does it work? Express.js uses Connect and then HTTP, and it uses the Node.js. So why use Express.js? The question is, why do we actually use, why we have to use Express.js? Express.js makes Node web application development fast and easy. We have already talked about this. Easy to configure now, customize. It's very easy. You will see later in this video. Allow you to define routes for application based on HTTP methods and URLs. You will be using app.get, post, etc. I will show you that later. So it's very easy. Includes various middleware modules which you can use to perform additional tasks on request and response. For example, in login and register, we will be using middleware which will help us to authenticate the user. And not only that, there is a lot of other parts which we can implement using middleware. So I will show you about this middleware also in this case. Easy to integrate with different templates engines like JED, VAS, EJS, etc. I will create a separate video for EJS and Node.js so that you can create different applications. Express.js allows you to define the error handling middleware. We can also suppose we are sending the data to API. If there is something wrong, then there should show an error, and that can be shown through middleware error handling. Easy to serve static files. If you have 10 pages, 15 pages website, then you can easily create through this Express.js. Allow you to create REST API. I have already actually created a video where I have shown how to create REST API through Node.js, through this Express.js and MongoDB in the backend. Once again, I will show you that later. Easy to connect with a database such as MongoDB, Redis, MySQL. So these are important reasons why we will use Express.js. So the now question is how to install Express.js. It's very simple. npm install. We need to write here npm install g express. You can install Express.js in npm node package manager. So the following command will install the latest version of Node.js. So what we will write npm install g express. In this section, you will learn how to create a web application using Express.js. Express.js provides an easy way to create web server and render HTML pages for different HTTP requests by configuring routes for your application. So guys, if you have followed my previous video of Node.js, you might have seen that we need to require that we need to call HTTP module. Since this Express has already that one, so we don't need to call here HTTP module, because if we call Express, then automatically the HTTP module is created. So what we need to do here, after installing npm install g express, we will have to just where express require express, then where app express app, then where server.appletion 5000, this is the port number and function, then node server is running. So let me show you with practical example. So going inside Node.js tutorial, then I will create a new folder called Express here, and here I will call first.js. Oh, need to open this actually. Open the folder. So where is this? This is E drive, Node.js tutorial Express. Then I will create a new file here. New file. So I'll name it as first.js. Okay, first.js. But before that, we need to install Express inside this folder. Okay, so just create cmd and then E drive, then cd Node.js tutorial, then cd express, then npm install express. If I install npm install express, that means this Express.js will be installed into my this directory only. Since I need in this one only, so I'm not using G. That means globally I'm not going to install. I'm going to install in this particular directory. Okay. So Express.js is being installed. Okay. If you just write here dir, then you can see node modules and package.json. So these files are automatically created. Okay. Now let's go into this code and we will write require here express. Guys, once again I'm repeating here, if you remember, while creating the Node.js application, Node server, we had to write here, we had to call here HTTP modules. So when you call this express, so that HTTP module is already included in this, so we don't need to call specifically that HTTP module. So simply just creating just calling this express, it can work perfectly. So app express and then app.listen, so this is the port number and that's it. It should start. So it will show that node has started. So now we will write here node and then first.js. Node has, so node is running. That means on this port number, node is running. Now, one of the most important part of this Express.js is configuring the routes. Use app object to define different routes of your application. The app object includes get, post, put, delete methods to define routes for the HTTP get, post, put, and delete request respectively. So app object will help us to include this to create get, post, and put and delete methods. Okay, so how? Let's see. If you see this example here, then we are including Express and then app object. This is the object of Express, right? App object, then app dot get. If we write here slash, that means home page, and then response. This is request response. The function response dot send, and then we can see this message. And similarly, post method, when the button is clicked, then it will show post request. Put is for modifying. That means we will use this later, so don't worry at all in case at this point of time if you are unable to understand. Okay, and then app delete. This one is when we delete the record, we need to call this method. And finally, app.listen server is running. So let's see in practical example. So what I'm going to do, just removing this and just putting this one. So app.get. Now once again we need to start this server so that it will take effect. Yes. So let me explain once again what is happening here. This one is for home page. So now you won't be able to understand unless I show you through practical example. So I'm going here and then let's write here HTTP localhost and port number is 5000, 9000. What is the port number? Port number is 5000. Okay. So we need to call here the port number, colon, and then 5000. Yes, guys, you can see hello world. So how it's coming? From here. From here, this one is coming. This is slash. You can see that means when this is home page, then this get method will be called. And if anyone submit data, right, then this respond to request. But we do, currently in this case we don't have home, so we need to take help of this. This is called also endpoint. Okay, slash this one, it will show you cannot get because we are trying to get this one. Okay, so what I will do, I will open here Postman. In case if you have not installed Postman, then you can download and install. It's free. You just need to write into Google download Postman, and after downloading you can install to test the API, REST API. Alright, now the method is post. What is the method? The method is post. So let's come here and then just paste this and URL. Okay, and here just put post and then body, then row and JSON. So simply if I'm just sending this, then you can see this message. So where is this message written? You can see, guys, this message is written here. So that means what? My post method is also working. So guys, you can see how simple, how easy it is to use post method and get in REST API in this Express.js. Update this one we will use for updating. Remember, we will use this practical. I will show you all these things in practical example later also, but in this video what I'm trying to show you that how get method work, how post work, how put work, okay, with simple example. But in practical we will be using this in a REST API, where we will be using Express.js framework, and for database we will be using MongoDB. So same way, if you want to check this put, then this message should put method is used for update. Okay, let's go here and then just update, and we need to put send. You can see put request. Same way you can check delete also. So guys, this is how this get, post, put, delete method works in Express.js. Now we will see especially handle post request. Here you will learn how to handle HTTP post request and get data from the submitted form. In this case, what we did, we just used Postman, but in practical the user will be using form, not Postman at all, right? Postman is for testing purpose only, not for the end user. So I will show you with a simple example that how post method works with this HTML file. So first create index.html file in the root folder of your application and write the following code. So this is the code we will be writing here: form, submit data, student data, method post, and then we are using here two, first name and last name, and we will submit and check. So let's do one thing. I'll just create here new file, say post.html, and paste this one. What I'm doing, if you check this first.js here, what is the this one? No, we are going to create separate one. Okay, we will create this one, and we are passing to first name and last name. Okay, now let's understand the body parser. Guys, if you come from PHP background, then you might be knowing that when we use normally post and get method. When we send the data through post method, then it go hidden way, people cannot see. But if you post through get, then anyone can see in the browser. So in Node.js, in Express, how we send the data. So to handle the HTTP post request in Express.js version 4 and above, you need to install middleware module called body parser. We need to use body parser to send the data through form method. Okay, the middleware was a part of Express.js earlier, but now we have to install it separately. Middleware was a part of Express.js, but now we have to install this separately. This body parser module passes the JSON buffer string and URL encoded data submitted with HTTP post request. So what does it do? It has some important function. It converts into the data, whatever data we send, it converts into JSON key value format, and it buffers the data and send it in string format and URL encode. That means it is encoded so it cannot be hacked. So it is something like that. And data submitted to the post method. Install body parser npm show below. Npm install body parser save. So now let's install this package, then it will work. So what we need to do, let's go here, Control C, and then npm install body parser save. We are installing body parser, then our post method will work in the form. It was working through this one, but this one was for testing purpose. But of course, end user will not use. This is for developer to test. But we are creating form here, So through HTML form, if we want to send the data, then what we need to do is use body parser. And then next step, now let's check this code. You are already familiar with this code. Express we are calling, we are creating here object, right? And then we are calling here body parser object from this body parser. So this is the first one, this is the second one, and then we will write here app.use body parser URL code and extended force. Now this is get method. So when we open our file, it will load the index.html, and in post section we can see this data, and in so here we are using post method. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's create a new file, paste here, called post.html. Post.html. Okay, so as soon as we try to open this file, then it will try to check this file. So actually it will be post.html, post dot oh it will not post.html, there is a mistake. Just copy it, and it will be post.js, not html. .js file. Okay, post.js. Let's close this. This is post.js, where it will load our HTML file. And where did our HTML file go? Oh, I deleted that file. Okay, let's create one index.html. Okay, index.html, and in that index.html we will write this code. Okay, we had already actually created this, but I deleted that mistakenly. So post.js. So as soon as post.js will load and we will try to open, then this file will open. So let me show you here. Let just close this and then load post.js. Okay, now let's come here. So the port number is same. So this is get method, that means first one. So when we refresh this, then you can see that our form will load. Let's say path must be absolute or especially. It's already there. Error, path must be absolute or restriction file. Okay, we need to replace this code, and specifically we need to res.send file dir name, that means it will take the current directory. So we need to provide here complete path. Okay, then it should work. So let's restart the server. Now let's try again. Yes guys, you can see successfully our form has loaded. First name, last name, and of course the file name, input type submit, name equal to submit, and value submit data. Okay, so now we will post student submit student data. So this endpoint should exist here. So submit student data, right? So now when we will submit, then it should show data submitted in the console here. So Umar Rahman submit data. You can see Umar Rahman submitted successfully. We submitted the data from here, and what happened, the first name, we are taking this name request.body.first name, request.body.last name. If you come from PHP background, then you might be knowing that we normally write $_post for getting the post value. So here is request.body.first name, request.body.last name, and finally we are displaying here respond. So guys, you can see this is very simple example. Once again, let me explain this. Express your understanding, then app, object, now body parser also we have included. Why do we need? If you want to use post method to send data, then you need to use this body parser. And finally, you need to write this line of code, body parser URL in code. And for get method, this is for loading the form, and this one is when we submit the data for displaying. Of course, this data we will use in our REST API, but for understanding purpose that how post method works, you can just check this. This is for testing purpose, but in practical life we will use in creating REST API, sending the data to the server. This one is not new. This is same server app.listen and nodes server is running. So guys, this was post method. So guys, so far you have learned how to install Express and how to use Express, and also how to use get method, how to post method, and put and delete we will use later. So guys, in the next video I will show you, I will start a new series called EJS framework for front end. We will be using EJS and in the front end, and in the back end we will be using Node.js. So that's it in this Express.js section. So guys, you must watch that video also, where I will be showing how to use backend, in the backend the Node.js, and in the front end EJS. So thank you for watching, and still if you have not subscribed guys, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to create the video and present to you. So guys, it doesn't take you anything, so just subscribe and also press like button. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.